Norah Moth is, well, it's her story, really. This is her living room. And this story is about her dad, who is poorly with silicosis upstairs, and you never see him. But what you do start to learn is that he's saying things in his sleep and having nightmares that Norah can't explain. The significant others in Norah's life include Frances Berry, who is her lovely neighbour with a heart of gold, and she's there a lot for her, you know, doing things around the house and making sure she's fed and looking after herself. And then other characters appear who she doesn't know very well at all, and they include Richard Warham, who's the owner of the pot bank where she works, and Councillor Blythe, who is a local councillor, and another character that she does know well, who actually she's known from birth, is Dr. Copper.
I think Dr. Copper has quite an interesting journey in this play. And we learn an awful lot more about him as the play goes on. At the start of the play, he comes across, I think, as the local doctor doing his job. And we don't know too much about the man, and we don't even know if he's going to be in the play very much or not. But then he starts to appear more and more, and we start to learn more and more about his history. And he becomes a much more interesting character, and we realise that he's got a lot more to him than at first appeared.
It would have been all right to go work. Frances said she'd sit in as much of the day as she could and keep the fire going.
Jack's been cold picking again.
He's a wonder.
I think it's time to watch now. Especially if you're right and confession is good for the soul.
You don't believe in all that, do you, Doctor?
I'm not a chapel man, Norah, but I don't deny the power of faith to bring comfort in extremity.
It doesn't comfort me at all. I went chapel on Sunday as usual, but it felt hollow and meaningless.
I think that says more about your state of mind than anything else.
You're so wise. Oh, but you are. You should have married, had children. When I think of all the people who have one kiddie after another, folk so poor and uneducated they can't feed one mouse, never mind half a dozen. And here you are.
Well, I'm married to my work, perhaps. I never met the right girl.
Norah goes on quite a journey in the play. She grows up a lot. I mean, she is young, she's 20. But she learns a lot about the important people in her life, her father and Dr. Copper, two people who I think she thinks she knows quite well, but things come to light that I don't think she'd ever dreamt of.
My character, Frances, is a neighbour to Norah Moth, and I come round and I help. I keep the fire stoked, I look after her and keep an eye on her sick father. Also quite nosy, very curious, fingers in all sorts of gossip. Frances is sort of Burslem's answer to Columbo or Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote. All these people start turning up at the house, and this turns a switch in her mind, makes her very curious and suspicious.
You look tired, Duck.
I'm all right.
You're ever so dark round your eyes.
Did you say that needs more hot water?
Perhaps I should come and sit with Reuben tonight.
We're all right.
Are you? You seem ever so tetchy.
Do I?
Well, that's tiredness, that is.
Frances,
Is he still having nightmares?
I don't need you to sit with him, Frances. We're fine.
Have you thought of getting in the minister?
He doesn't want the minister.
If he's having nightmares.
He's poorly and in pain. What do you expect?
Well, he might find some peace.
He doesn't want the minister or you or anyone else to sit with him at night. He just wants me. And I'll be with him until the end.
The challenge of playing Richard Warham, I guess, is to try and make him three-dimensional, because he is, in some ways, he's the powerful owner of the pottery and he could be seen as a bit of a baddie. And the things he does in the play could be seen just to be self-motivated. But I think he's also kind of kidding himself and maybe genuinely interested in the people, the Norah and her father. So how much he's interested in them and how much he's kidding himself, his actions are for the best, because after all he's supporting a pottery, he's supporting keeping a lot of people in work. So how much he's motivated for self-interest and for the interest of the community, all the people who work for him, I think that's what makes him interesting as a character.
Doctor was here, said Reuben wasn't well enough for a visitor. I had made my mind up not to call again, but I wanted to pay my respects. Copper said you'd been round. I was surprised.
Why? Are we both here for the same reason?
I'm calling on an old acquaintance and a constituent.
Have you spoken to him in the past 20 years?
As you know, I take a keen interest in matters of industrial illness and disease.
And your concern for Reuben Moth wouldn't have anything to do with Emmeline?
Who?
Emmeline!
Keep your voice down.
I don't think you should have come. Reuben works for me, so does his daughter. I have a legitimate reason to call.
I appreciate you informing me of Reuben's troubles, but forgive me if I feel the need to monitor the situation myself.
You mean you don't trust me?
My character, Headley Blythe, I believe has a genuine belief in the Clean Air Act. He's campaigning historically on the back of Barnett Stross's work at the time. And he wants to see a better future for Stoke-on-Trent and for, I suppose, the country in general. I mean, the play is set in 1953 when the Clean Air Act went through. And it was about change for the better for a city. And I think what the City of Culture bid and Stoke-on-Trent today needs is that change, a similar change. Okay, it's not an industrial disease change. It's a cultural shift, I think, from what it used to be to something new. And it needs to happen, I think, quickly, because it's, it deserves it.